What if hypothesis? Types of hypothesis in psychology. A hypothesis is a tentative statement about the relationship between two or more variables. A hypothesis is an assumption that is made based on some evidence. A research hypothesis is a hypothesis that is used to test the relationship between two or more variables. The hypothesis should be clear and precise to consider it to be reliable. If the hypothesis is a relational hypothesis, then it should be stating the relationship between variables. The hypothesis must be specific and should have scope for conducting more tests. The way of explanation of the hypothesis must be very simple, and it should also be understood that the simplicity of the hypothesis is not related to its significance. Forms of hypothesis. There are 6 forms of hypothesis. Simple hypothesis. It shows a relationship between one dependent variable and a single independent variable. For example, if you eat more vegetables, you will lose weight faster. Here, eating more vegetables is an independent variable, while losing weight is the dependent variable. Consumption of sugary drinks every day leads to obesity is an example of a simple hypothesis. Complex hypothesis. It shows the relationship between two or more dependent variables and two or more independent variables. Eating more vegetables and fruits leads to weight loss, glowing skin, and reduces the risk of many diseases such as heart disease. Directional hypothesis. It shows how a researcher is intellectual and committed to a particular outcome. The relationship between the variables can also predict its nature. For example, children aged 4 years eating proper food over a 5-year period are having higher IQ levels than children not having a proper meal. This shows the effect and direction of the effect. If a person gets 7 hours of sleep, then he will feel less fatigued than if he sleeps less. It is an example of a directional hypothesis. Non-directional hypothesis. It is used when there is no theory involved. It is a statement that a relationship exists between two variables, without predicting the exact nature, direction, of the relationship. Null hypothesis. It provides a statement which is contrary to the hypothesis. It's a negative statement, and there is no relationship between independent and dependent variables. The symbol is denoted by HO. All lilies have the same number of petals is an example of a null hypothesis. Associative or causal hypothesis. Associative hypothesis occurs when there is a change in one variable resulting in a change in the other variable. Whereas, the causal hypothesis proposes a cause and effect interaction between two or more variables.